Welcome back, everybody. This is the start of the Joy Pouch January for Kate in the Nest, and it's a bit of a tutorial about one of the elements I'm putting on my pouch. The phrase from the song was "Joy to the world, all the boys and girls, joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea, joy to you and me." So I picked out "Joy to the fishes" because who doesn't love a puffer fish? I don't know. There's just something about puffer fish. I love them. I don't know why. I've never known why. I just love them. So I just find them the happiest fish. Even when they're puffed up, they look happy, and they're not meant to be. They're meant to be scary. So I've done some drawings. I was looking at ideas, coral, big bits of coral for the pouch. The flatter, more fan-like corals, and the happiest fish in the world, puffer fish. So I thought I would make some puffer fish. So I've started this year with one small journal for my ideas journal, and one larger one which ends up with lots of cut and pastes and all sorts of things. So this is the start. This one, let's get that out of the way. Have a look at my little fishy, puffer fish. So what I've cut out is some felt, because I want them to stand up like stuffed, so a bit 3D. So I've got a bit of this is just an old sheet cotton. So I've got two types of puffer fish I've drawn. There's one that's got the smooth body, and there's one that's got all these little things. I thought I'd do one of each for each pouch, because I'm making two. One's going to fly and one's staying. So this is the process. I got a box of 72 Inktense for Christmas off the family, and I'm a bit excited about that. So rather than just get the tin and show you it's a bit cumbersome, I thought I would just start off by just using a couple. So these are sketches, so it doesn't have to be exact. Just want to get an idea of this happy little face with his big round eyes and his puffed up body. They're so cute. I find them hilarious. I know they're scared when they puff up, but it's just the funniest thing. I should put this down so you can see. So it doesn't have to be an exact copy. Now I'm leaving these two little lines here to show where a fin is going to go, even where a tail might go. A bit of fun. So the process I've been doing, now I got a whole heap of these for Christmas, and I've filled them all up with water. So I've got all different sizes of brush tips. I've got some quite large ones through to shorter ones, and so you can see the difference. So if you're out on the road and you're traveling, you can use the smaller ones, but quite small points. So I've been using one of the shorter ones, and it's sort of got a medium tip. They're great because you can give them a squeeze and you'll see the water starts to drip out. And the great thing about the Inktense is that when you wet them, they're activated and then they dry, but you can come in and work over the top and it doesn't affect the previous layer once it's wet and dry. So I'm just activating all these little bits. So this is the first layer, and I find that you can build up as you go. Obviously this kind of needs more of these little things. I mean, you could also use a spray bottle and just spray. You can see it goes on when it's wet, it goes on a lot darker. But that's a good way to be able to work your material. So I'll let him dry a bit, and now we've got this other one. They're quite comical. I don't know why. I don't know why. I just don't know why they're quite comical to me. I think when they're puffed up, they look more like they've got a bit of a smiley mouth. Okay, so you get the idea of the initial sketch. And now another thing I do is bring in another colour or two once they're starting to dry off a bit. You can wet it and activate it. Can add a bit more shading around the edges to help it have a spherical look about it. And just work up the layers. I found it interesting that at this point you think, oh, maybe it's not really working, or it's not getting the detail that I'd like. But when you get a couple of layers up and then it dries, I'll show you. So I've already made a couple, and I've got to the point where I am stitching them together. So I'm stitching. I've started to put on this little bit of braiding, so a bit of trim. So this has got a straight edge, and then it's got this beveled edge or curved edge. So I'm just cutting a little bit, I'm poking it in. No, it's the other way. My scissors. So I'm taking it from the edge of one of these little notches and making an angle to make it look a little bit like, it's not the same. You could use a little bit of a very fine material if you wanted. Oh, the funny little fellas. There he is. I don't know why they're males either. I did have one when back in the 80s when I was living with my then husband. He loved tropical fish, and he had a tropical fish tank, and yes, we had a little puffer fish. It was so cute. And I named all of my pets after musicians at the time. So my pufferfish's name was Satchmo, and if anyone knows anything about jazz, they'll know that that was Louis Armstrong, the trumpet player's nickname. So my little pufferfish was called Satchmo. Maybe that's why I have such fond memories. I just used to sit and watch them in the tank. It's so relaxing, absolutely relaxing. Got to stitch a bit more on that. However, I have got my other one, but see what I mean? When you get a bit of colour in, it kind of gets a little bit more, it's not realistic. It's not meant to be realistic, but what I'm going to do is get my stuffing. Let's face it, a roly-poly happy pufferfish needs to be roly-poly and stuffed. Oh, I love them. I love them so much. There we go. All right, so my needle, maybe a bit more. So I'm just doing a little, really it's just a overcast stitch. Get that out of the way. We can shush around the stuffing after. Okay, just cast that off. Here is my little puffer fish. Just lose the thread inside. Just give him a little roll around. Here he is, ready to go. And this one I will also fill and stitch up and finish the other two. The only other thing I did, I decided to make some bubbles to go near them. And I think I'll probably Inktense those, stitch them together. I won't stuff them. I just wanted them to be a little bit, I guess, a little bit 3D so that they stand up off the pouch a bit. And I'll come back when all of that's ready to go and show you. Okay, so here we have two non-spiky pufferfish, the two spiky pufferfish, and I have put a little bit of a blue line around to denote the air bubbles in the water, and just started to overcast stitch the little bubbles. So that's where I'm up to. That's the end of this episode, and I will come back with more in the next episode. Thanks for being here. Bye for now.